to the Jira task of creating issues. So we're at the backlog. Let's try to create a user story. So we go create on the top, or we could go all the way to the bottom and say create issue. Issue in Jira is the generic term for all tasks. So that includes subtasks, tasks, stories, bugs, anything related to anything actionable is called an issue in Jira. So let's go ahead and create an issue. So this is one way where we write the story over here, or we can go for the full wizard, which is over here. We select our project, the issue type, which can be a story, epic, bug, or a task. Bug would refer to once our QA finds issues, they would report bugs here. We create a summarized version of the story. We select ourselves as the reporter, describe the issue itself, what version it's aimed at. We can ignore priority for now until we have developed a significance for it. Ignore labels, ignore attachments, ignore any of these following items, and assign an epic. Once we click create, it'll create the respective issue. Once an issue is created, our job is not complete. Each user story is completed by a combination of design, architecture, development, front end and back end, and quality assurance. Each of those items has its own significance and its own workflow. To consider all those things together for a completion of user story, the way we do it is we go create. So if I'm working on a story, I go create, subtask, and I create my relevant task. All these tasks are customizable. We can change them and modify them to fit our team needs. So let's say there's a task here that you think you do for every story and you need to put it in here. So let's add it. For example, QA task would be something we might want to include here if necessary. We put a summary of our task, description of what we're doing, and again, we can customize all these fields. For now, we do not require any of them. And we click create. Let me create a temporary story here. As you can see, the development task has been created over here. It is a subtask to the user story here. Each item in Jira has a workflow associated to it. For example, the workflow for this user story is over here, which says item start, when it's created, it goes into backlog. All items can move to backlog. All items can move to selected for development. All items can move to in progress, and all items can move to done. I will have a separate discussion about workflow and how to customize those and how we can utilize that for our benefit. For now, let's just move on to the workflow for subtasks. I'm the developer and I'm creating, let's make this a little more meaningful actually. Make API available. While I'm working on this story, I'm working on actually this specific task. When I start working on it, I click workflow and I move it to in progress. This would allow my team to know that this item is in progress. I have to make sure that I always keep my statuses up to date. Otherwise, my team will not know how this item is progressing. When I'm done with this task, what I would do is I would click done. That way my team knows that this item has been completed and they can see the API available now. To help my team understand my progress, I probably will add over here API is available at flyawayhub.com/API/v1/login. That would help my team know that this item is done and that's the new API that is created. That way they would know all the information there. Once that is completed, I can go back to the story and see that this item is done. And let's say the front-end developer was waiting on something, he would be able to progress more. That would bring us to the end of issue management and how to move them through the workflow.